Hey everybody, we're doing a product review today on the Curse of Strahd Revamped from Wizards of the Coast. And this just came out this past week. It's a rebox, a re-release of the Curse of Strahd module, which was one of the first few that they put out for 5th edition D&D. I've had a lot of people ask, what's in it? Is it worth the $100 price tag? And so we opened one up and we took a look at it and we're going to do some comparison. So without further ado, this is the box set. This will be a great gift for someone, especially someone who likes Ravenloft or is looking to get into 5e and they kind of pondered the Curse of Strahd setting, or like, if you don't own any of this stuff already, this is fantastic. This is what you need. It's got some cool artwork. It's raised on here. This isn't just like lithographed on. This is actually raised. It's pretty neat. So we open it up, and the first thing that greets us is a nice big full art piece of Strahd von Zarovich in his repose, I suppose. He's supposed to be inside his coffin. Pretty cool piece of art. You flip it over, and it's got Strahd's stat line from the book. Okay, this is cool. Not super useful as a DM because you're going to have this big floppy thing behind your screen, I guess. I don't know. But that's cool. Not so much. You've got a little bundle pack. This is normally sealed. We opened it all up to look at it. So the first thing that we see is the module. It's a perfect bound, so it's a soft cover. It's they redid some things in here. This is a little misleading, I think, because as far as we can tell, and most other internet reviewers that I've seen, the only thing they changed was how they described the Vistani and like the personal description of one of the NPCs in here who has a leg that was taken off, and like she's not depressed about her leg anymore. She's uses it as motivation because some people thought it might have been disparaging to have someone who was depressed about losing a leg. And also they changed the Vistani to be not negative stereotyped gypsy lore, and to just kind of be there in the setting and why they were kind of good guys in some respects, kind of bad guys in others. So you can take those changes as you will. They didn't really seem to make the book layout any better or the adventure. Many changes to the adventure, some rules clarifications, but no structural changes to really anything. The coolest thing that they did was the DM screen, in my opinion. This is the art side that you would see as the player. So, some neat Barovian-esque artwork on the DM side. Some very Ravenloft specific things to encounters in Barovia, modifiers, rules, and everything. So overall, a useful DM screen. This is nice. This is probably, after looking through everything, this is my favorite part of this box set. I don't know what that says about me, but the DM screen's the best. They took the maps out of that were originally printed in the book and put them out on one sheet. It's double-sided with the layouts and such. I'm going to go ahead and say that this is not useful for one reason. If you're trying to run your players through this, having to deal with this big floppy thing, like, this is cool. the big map of Barovia, that's cool. That's something you can hang out. But then these small maps, in my opinion, they should have been made as handouts or something. Because presented in this poster format, it is, well, hard to fold back up. Ultimately, could have been done better. Got handouts for the players. Like, they should have done, in my opinion, they had the right ideas. Like, they've got, like, the different printed letters from inside. But they shortcutted it. And, like, these should have been different handouts. Like, you've got the journals here, the front and back journals. These should have been, this is cool. They could have definitely done a little more with it. They printed it on some generic, oh, look, there's blood on the background, paperwork. But there could have been some cool envelopes or something that was a little more immersive or done a little bit better. And I know I'm asking a lot, but this thing's $100, and they gave you a little handout about the Taroka Deck, which we'll get to, which is pretty integral to the game system. It's kind of a waste of time because it just shows you. It's just illustrated pictures of the cards. You can use a tarot deck instead, but this is the specific special one they made for this game. But you can use a tarot deck. That's what we did. But it doesn't tell you how to use the damn thing. It doesn't tell you, like, there's a specific section of the book that shows how to use this, and they could have used this handout for that, but it's not. It's, oh, here's the cards and here's what they use it for, but it doesn't tell you how to use it in the game. So that's kind of pointless. That which brings us to the monster handout, which is probably the second most useful thing in here besides the DM screen, which is the book that has all the very specific things to the Barovia setting laid out in it for easy reference. So it's got all the monsters that are specific to this module. So this is good. They're reminiscent of the old school two-staple saddle stitch style inserts. So that's cool. Which brings us to the Taroka Deck, which they put in here. It's in a box. Which, when you encounter the Vistani in the game and they do your Taroka, your tarot reading, it gives the players like the clues about their 3 items that they need to defeat Strahd von Zarovich. So you've got these big old floppy tarot cards, and I just took this out of the packaging, and look at the cornerware that's already on these cards. This is not well put together. Looks cool, but that's probably going to peel up, and like there's already like errors in the printing, like they're scuffing. And you saw we just took this out of the shrink wrap. So I'm going to show you something. Boom. From Gale Force 9, the Taroka deck that has been out for the better part of probably 2 or 3 years now. This is a $10 product. Oh. So we have this $10 deck from Gale Force 9 that is standard card sleeve size, not oversized. You're going to have trouble finding any sleeves for this to protect it. I'm sure they exist. We'd have to measure it out. But if you look, it's the same artwork, because of course they took it from the module. There's no difference here except for size of the cards. So this unique kind of gimmicky thing that they almost had has been out and available on the market forever. And these got a little wear on too, just coming out of the package. It's just the nature of their printing process, I think. But for $100 for this set, which brings us to the last item in the Curse of Strahd little game here. Box set. Which are the Welcome to Barovia postcards, which I guess you're supposed to hand these to potential players as like invitations to come to the game. Old Bone Grinder. Like, okay. Nothing here feels like a prop to running a gothic horror adventure. Like, so we got postcards and we got a Taroka deck, and that's it. And now I will caveat my negative feelings on this box set. I will be clear, I'm an old school player, I'm an old school collector. So this feels like an old school TSR era box set, which was neat, which would be really neat if this were the first issuing of Curse of Strahd. Like if this were a new product and he came out with all this and it's $100, this is great value for $100 if this is new. The problem comes in for most of us who have already paid $50 for a hardback version. The only difference here is the revamped under here, which once again is completely misleading because there really ain't anything changed except for they took out some problematic descriptors, which is fine. But if this isn't out, if these products, and I don't have one, but Gale Force 9 put out a DM screen, not different artwork, but they put out a DM screen specific to Curse of Strahd when this came out. If you don't own any of this, awesome. If you already own some pieces of this, this is a total waste of your time and money. And that's sad to say. And I'm really, really, really disappointed in this box. It's beautiful. Like, the box is beautiful. The maps are beautiful, but not useful as player handouts or player aids because they're all slapped together on one sheet. So functionality, that's a big miss. And you have, like, the journal entries and the letters. They could have been done, I don't know. I guess I'm bougie and, like, I got too spoiled by Beetle and Grimm stuff. But, like, you could have, like, made these, like, little scrolls or something to hand out. Or even just, like, have them be individual. Or, like, this be, like, a little journal or something in here instead of just a front and back of the same generic blood stationery that we've got. You clearly have all this empty, unused box space that you could have put stuff in. I mean, there could have been like a dice set specific to this that you could have slotted in here. You could have had a lot going on for $100, especially for those of us who have been with it since this first drop and already had purchased Curse of Strahd and sundries to go with it, that when we open it up and we look through it, we're not just sitting here going, oh, that's it? Because that's been the response. We got 12 or 14 of these in, and I'm a little sad that every customer we've sold one to has come back and said, oh, that was disappointing. There wasn't a lot to it. So that's why this review is happening. Because I opened one. This is one I got for myself. And I'm disappointed too. And I really hate that. So I'm gonna say that this is a miss. Anyway, thanks for watching and listen to me rant. We'll see you next time.